Okay, we're live.
Yay!
Yay! Happy Saturday, everyone. At least those are. Boy, my glasses are a freaking mess. They're so dirty. I gotta clean them. Anyway, I just looked at this screen, and by the way, it's still the old screen. I will get the new one next week. This just reminds me of the Partridge Family, the setup. I never realized that before, but yeah.
Okay.
Partridge Family. So yeah, hopefully all the sound is working, folks online. It is my 83rd month sub anniversary, and yes, I know all that stupid stuff, but I'm still gonna do it.
What? Oh, okay.
There we go.
Oh, and there's a Wild Dirk appears.
Wild Dirk.
Hello,
buddy. Ready. Hello, Twitch. How are we doing today?
Twitch is they're happy. They're happy. They're happy. I thought I typed something for my 83rd, month anniversary, but apparently, no. I'll be reminded later. Only visible to you. I don't know why. I don't know what the fuck I clicked. Sometimes, you just click the wrong stuff, By the way, quick guinea pig update. They're having a blast. They're having a blast. They're a little bit crazy. And
they're enjoying their time.
When we come upstairs, they run to us now because they think we have food. I mean, if we don't have food, they're kind of like, usually we do.
That's a betrayal, Eric.
But I will tell you,
if you don't have food.
When they hear the treat bag ruffling, okay? The treat bag, they are they go spastic. It's clearly, I mean, they're getting a drug. Okay, and boy, the two times that they are a little voracious, let's say, and aggressive is treat time, and if they get romaine lettuce.
Specifically romaine.
Specifically romaine, not other lettuces. Hold it. There's something going on here in staff only. Who's sleeping?
That looks like a wild Mifune.
Oh.
After the DC shenanigans, because I remember the DC meet is happening this weekend.
That's right, DC meet. So here's a question, right?
I don't know why I thought there was a blue microphone logo on his shoulder.
It looks like it might be one of the Fat B TV jersey things, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Because we're sponsored by Blue. We don't talk about it much, but the Imperium News Network and the Fat B TV channels are sponsored by Blue, so it would make sense that we have some of their shit on some of our shit.
Fat B TV, no more.
That's true.
Just us. By the way, I just want to point out.
No more. Yeah, that's fair.
I am so lazy that my coffee mug that I use every day, right, still has the sticker on it that I bought it. I'm so lazy that I've not removed the sticker since July of last year. By the way, I want to announce that our state has a $1 million lottery, $4 million given away, only 1 million tickets sold, and for the 8 millionth, probably the 10th or 11th or 12th year in a row, Eric has won exactly $0 in this lottery. Okay, let's put it this way: 1,000 people get $100, right? I don't even get $100 in 12 years. It's terrible.
It's a lottery. Why would you expect to win?
I always expect to win. I piss excellence. Okay, I expect to win every time. All right.
I mean, here's a question: have we had a ping yet?
No, because the only person who can ping is Dawn, and Dawn, she.
Dawn, ping it.
She's away and doing.
She's there at the Air and Space Museum.
Excuses. She's here with us, so she can ping it.
The Air and Space Museum.
She's gonna go see Sean Tucker's airplane, which is amazing. Biplane. He was a
great.
Since when did NASA make those kind of spacesuits?
Hell, I think my name's freaking in there somewhere, or picture or something. I mean, for if they still have the supercomputing thing up there in the Air and Space Museum. And yeah,
I mean, I'd hope so.
I don't know why, but yeah, they did a. There were 4 giant supercomputing centers in the U.S. at one time, and I worked at one.
Oh, okay.
That's so cool. Yeah. So my, I've done a lot of IT stuff in my day. So yeah, but yeah,
work has taken you random places.
Not mostly in the city of Black and Gold, but I did do a short stint over there in Kansas City, Kansas, not the Missouri side, the Kansas side.
Okay.
That's where I met Dorothy, and then brought her back, and she's had more close calls with tornadoes here in the last 25 and a half years than she did.
You would have had it in Kansas.
Yeah. So actually, she has spent the majority of her life here in the Berg. Because I think she was 26 when I married her, but she only lived in Kansas from 8 to 26. So.
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know too much about Pittsburgh, to be fair.
Black and Gold. We love our sports. Can't get a ticket to the Steelers because it's been sold out since the 70s. Unless season ticket holders are selling there.
No.
But did you like the uniform, Eric?
What uniform? Oh, that? Hold on.
Staff.
That frightens me.
You're in the Air and Space Museum.
Uniform.
Yeah, there's all kinds of things.
Yes, I am.
It's just how Maleficent dresses on any given day.
Let's see. Somebody's in Missouri. Street corner Becky. St. Louis side, yeah. The biggest difference. I worked on the St. Louis side. My one of my big clients, Herxt AG at the time, was over there. I think they've been sold. That was the old Marion Labs. The owner of the Royals named his pharmaceutical company after his wife Marion. They had a wonderful boat in Harbor Town, in the marina there. Had the Kansas City logo on it. We saw it every year. Never met him though. The owner, I forget his name.
I don't know.
So yeah. What are you laughing about?
If you're throwing that out for us to sort of complete, then
I
don't know. There's nothing to complete.
To
somebody said, Missouri. So more IT history from Eric. That's all I got. But yeah, is the sound okay, everybody out there?
I hope so.
Yeah. By the way, should there is just before everybody starts asking, probably have to say it 17 times, there is no meta show today because of the DC meet. Somehow I missed it. I would have, because this is a 3-day weekend for me, I would have gone down for the DC meet. Somehow I just completely fucking missed it, or I would have been down there because Chris and I on our real life Facebook accounts, Hard Times Cafe, loving it, awesome chili. We've talked about it before. That would have been a great place to get down there and go. Dawn could have been hanging out with Dawn at the Smithsonian right now.
Dawn could have been hanging out with Dawn? What?
I could have been hanging out with Dawn at the Smithsonian.
I'm already hanging out with myself.
I know.
Dawn has the sort of split personality where Dawn, hangs out with Dawn. Dawn apparently also hangs out with her dad and still comes on this show, so,
There's nothing wrong with hanging out with your parents.
Oh, no, I'm
he's
just saying,
reading every sign in here, so he's having a good time.
It's that bit where you when you spend time with somebody, you probably want to spend time with them, not like spend time with them spending time with other people.
Mm.
In that
We've
sense,
been together
right?
for 3 days. I see them every week.
See, if I'd remembered
reading
that was
every
this
sign
weekend,
in
I
here.
might have gone down
Every sign.
Yeah, I forgot completely. Should we just end the show around
I
this? You
talked
just
about
wanna
it for a month.
head down?
No, it'd be a 5-hour drive for me. It wouldn't be worth it at this point.
It's 4.5 for me. So
Yeah, but I'd be going down 95 the whole way. I gotta get to the city. So.
I know getting through the city is probably an extra hour, probably even on a Saturday.
Yeah, probably. It would be quicker for me to just stop at the Delta shuttle at LaGuardia and fly down.
See, for me, DC's right in that middle. It takes me longer to fly there than it does to drive. Plus, I love the Beltway because 16 lanes in one direction is always a joy. And by the way, it doesn't matter what time of day, right? I mean, there is going to be somebody that is in the far left lane that wants to exit in 200 meters, right? They just go right across.
People who when they get to that point are just listening to their freaking Google Waze need to stop. Just need to stop.
That's a very fair point. Also, I'd like to bring up the whole thing about like American pronunciation, how weird it is. Like we've just had LaGuardia from Horrendous.
Yes, LaGuardia.
Which is
LaGuardia.
a really weird pronunciation of a word that would typically otherwise be pronounced Guardia.
No.
There's a lot in front of it.
It's because it's an Italian person's name.
The other thing is like St. Louis. Like
it's St. Louis.
Typically yeah,
St. Louis is basically an informal colloquialism, and that's building off of the French pronunciation.
Yeah, but because it builds off the French pronunciation, it doesn't make sense to call it Saint. It's weird. That's not how French works.
Right, but that's why the name of the city isn't actually St. Louis; it's St. Louis.
Yeah.
It's just like you guys are.
It's like saying, "Oh my God, you guys pronounce the name of this city totally weird for its spelling. It's spelled New space York, but you keep calling it Gotham."
Well, if you have the fucking light in the sky for Batman, you're fucking Gotham. Okay? Just suck it up.
Which, I mean, you know what I mean, and I'm not even talking about the Batman angle.
I know.
You see the point. I do see the point. But it's just kind of like a little bit odd to have the there's a hell of a difference there.
Yeah.
By the way, Fat Bob Records, hello. Welcome to the chat if you haven't been there. So if I look this way, right, I have guinea pig cam live, right? We got 2 big guinea pig cam, so I can watch them. So it's kind of fun. Guinea pigs are a drug in this house. We just the whole family goes up in the loft and just sits on the couches and things and watches them and feeds them because they want people to feed them.
So I have to ask, because we've got competing rules in effect at this point now.
Okay.
Dawn, you're not going to make your meeting today, I'm assuming.
Of course I am. Why wouldn't I?
Okay. All right. So then, how long are you going to be here? Because you're nominally spending time with your dad, and, at a museum.
My dad's literally reading every sign. It's fine.
Okay.
I've already made it through the exhibit, and he's at halfway point.
Okay, I was just checking.
I have to ask, how many times has your dad been to the Smithsonian? Like, I've been there like 5 times.
Yes.
Which one?
Starting all of them, starting in 7th grade.
I mean, at this point, Eric, you really can't say how many times have you been to the Smithsonian. Well, I've been to this Smithsonian museum like 10 times. That one there, not so much.
We've only been to DC a couple times. I think this is my dad's 5th time.
Mm.
And yes, he's been to all of them except for the new Native American one.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, they change them all the time, right?
Yeah.
They got new stuff all the time. But yeah. Yeah, the first time I went, I was in 7th grade. That's crazy. Alrighty.
Yeah, when I was
What do
growing
I
up,
push to talk?
was,
Yeah, you don't get to push
console.
to talk. So, Sophomore, you don't we don't even push to talk.
What's pushing to talk? Like, what? No.
Well, this is the ultimate irony.
It's irony, yeah.
It is. The irony is everybody on push to talk doesn't use push to talk. I mean,
there are no brakes on this train.
Yeah.
There are no brakes on this train.
No.
Hey, did anybody hit the Gigunda lottery last night?
What?
Yes, they did. Somebody had to hit the Mega Millions.
What? Eric, what?
The Mega Millions lottery Friday night was $1.1 billion.
That was a really weird phrase, Gigunda. Like, what?
Gigunda.
I literally thought to myself, I've never heard of that lottery. Like,
that's an incredible non sequitur.
It was sold in Maine.
Was it? Well,
Yeah,
that counts me out.
Who's that guy from In It? That's McLeod.
I'll have to talk to a couple people I know in Maine.
Hello.
Ticket was sold at a gas station in the town of Lebanon.
Hold it. Somebody says, oh, he doesn't have his glasses with him. Okay.
Yeah. Also, Thothmark saying that he's going to push Eric and try to talk.
That's okay.
That's going to go well for you, buddy. I'm sure. just.
Is that like
push Eric? Why not?
If you push me, I'm going to fall down and I'm going to hold my ankle, and you're going to get a red card. That's just how it's yeah. So. So we have a little bit of so are we in Eve time yet? Yes, 1 minute. 1 minute to Eve time.
We're 1 minute
to Eve 2 minutes.
But like, you know,
I see 2
No,
minutes.
don't even.
Is it? Do we go up until the 20-minute mark, or do we have to go past 20 minutes onto the 21st minute?
The
we
moment
start
it
at
ticks
0
past
and go
20 minutes. Yeah, the moment it ticks past 20 minutes, you're fine.
All right, you're the official timekeeper. You're good, Dirk.
So we've got 1.5 minutes worth of Dawn Rule, which for any of our viewers who are potentially tuning in and have never come across this before, whenever Dawn Rhea is here, we institute a 20-minute period to just talk about random bullshit and catch up with what's going on in our real lives and just generally, you know, have a bit of just a fun conversation before we get into the serious Eve news, which Dawn is always very, very excited to get to. And she kind of always wants us to talk about Eve and not go on segues, so we make sure that there's a period where we can talk about some things that we don't have to segue
Those
about.
things just look ridiculous.
Yeah.
Segues do.
I'm
not gonna lie.
I want to shout out to Tam Tam saying, "Hey, thanks for joining, Tam Tam. How you doing?" Tam Tam is.
That might be why people don't join until after 20 minutes into the show.
Well,
it may well be, but you know what, Dawn, you're still here, and it's a rule about you, so I'm not too worried.
Yeah, when you're not here, we start right away.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lie.
And understand that, like, you know, that only really occurred because you were so insistent on talking about Eve, like, right off the bat.
So much.
Like, it was literally a reactionary kind of moment. For us. Just be like, you are far too.
I would just like
about talking about.
I would just like to take this moment to appreciate how not only do we bully Dawn about Eve with this rule, but now we are actively engaging in blaming the victim. We are wonderful people here.
Well,
we're the worst
people.
We're terrible.
It's very fair point, right?
However,
we take a tangent and
this is how it works.
About Eve.
However, it is time. We can talk about them now.
Tam Tam says it's not possible for us to talk about Eve. That's what she said.
I mean,
See, that's reverse psychology, and normally I would not let that work, but
we have
you know,
time for
Tamtam's
it.
a little tough. You know, she's tough.
The time has passed. We can now talk about Eve, and funnily enough, there is Eve news to talk about this week.
My God,
is there?
Really?
There was an article published this morning. We published an article this morning around us.
Holy crap.
Who did?
We did.
Imperium
Was
Really?
that
News.com.
before or
We
after?
started.
I didn't know we did that anymore.
Yeah, we still do that.
Holy Jesus Christ. I was just looking at the last article that you released, like, my God, man.
Yes.
That's like a
December
holy,
was
because you said
December
holy
was
Jesus Christ.
December was a dead
like
month
double
completely.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Oh, did December happen?
Apparently not, according to INN.
Well,
we had.
You can tell December.
It was fine.
Look, you can tell December happened because everyone was on Christmas vacation from Thanksgiving until now.
Yeah. But
Quite
we
the
do still
hangover.
do that.
It's like how you can tell summer happens in Iceland. Nobody shows up.
yeah.
But yeah, we do still do that from time to time. Not dead yet, regardless of what you may have heard on the Reddit.
Huh.
Arendis might prefer that we be dead. I might prefer that we be dead, but we are not dead yet. And yeah, so the news of the week is that war is returning to New Eden.
War were declared.
War were declared indeed. Basically, Pandemic Horde, and in it, in a weird kind of revelation of what the fuck is going on in EVE Online, have simultaneously
And separately?
declared separate wars on the same group.
So it was simultaneously slightly separate, but also sort of, kind of, a little
as
bit,
I understand
coordinated.
Yeah, as I understand it, there have been conversations between Shines and Gobbins, but this is not coordinated. They will not be working together in these kind of things.
We're not fleeting together in any way, shape, or form. If anything,
joint
we
goals.
will probably shoot the shit out of each other as soon as we see each other.
So
which basically makes this the potential for the bloodiest war we've seen in a while, but this is the first war we've seen in a while, so that potential existed anyway.
Okay, so I've got to ask, Mac.
Yeah.
Has anybody floated to Shines the idea of like a 100 billion-isk bet between Horde and Init about who can blow up more fire shit?
I don't know, but that would be pretty fucking cool.
Shines, if you're listening.
Yeah.
Better keep Star on it.
If you're listening, or if this gets back to you.
Yeah, better keep Star on it.
Apparently, there's an abandoned
bet
keep
the 1DQ
star
one,
in Wicked Creek.
In Wicked Creek.
As I recall, that's actually one of the regions that's set to be burned down, so it might not be it might not be abandoned for too long.
I do have to wonder, like, I mean, I haven't been keeping up with, Fire's kind of, various different sort of people who disagree with Fire's existence, but like, have they been pissing off everybody to the point where, like, multiple different kind of groups want to fuck with them? Like,
Seems
or is
like
this
kind
literally
of.
just a pick on the
Isn't it funny how
side?
6 months ago, Horde was taking care of Fire and holding their hand?
Yeah,
And now it's like,
Dirk, did you edit this article?
But it's
yes, but
Yeah.
it was very late, and I'd had a few drinks.
Okay, because like the entire second section kind of seems to omit the fact that in the last year and a half, this is the second time and it's gone to war with Fire.
I mean, we went to war with Fire because you guys went to war with Fire, and we were like, yeah, this sounds like a good time. And I think there was, a fair amount of herfing, blurfing, both sides sort of thing, and a lot of fun things that what was his face? What's the leader of Fire again? So
Constantine the weird?
the Constantine the
Constantine the
Constantine
many
something.
appellated?
yeah, Constantine the insert the non sequitur here.
Constantine the many named.
Yeah, Constantine the many named. Pretty good. But yeah, clearly he's pissed off a lot of people. But like saying that, I guess maybe saying that, like, you know, oh, what has he done to piss off PanFam or at least Pandemic Horde or goblins? Like, I think really is the. I think really what the he could have pissed him off. He could have not pissed him off because like this is Horde. This is goblins through and through. Like, you know, oh, you were once friends, now you are like blood enemies. That's kind of how they operate, right? Like, it seems like, at least from the outside in.
That's Russians. That's just Russians, unfortunately. That's kind of how the Russian bloc and Eve operates.
Well, I think to be fair,
the
one of the main reasons, one of the main kind of like reasonings why we went to war against Fire and against Constantine was like because he was, you know, being very, very pro-Russian with the whole fucking war in Ukraine stuff and very anti-Ukrainian in that regard. Like, I mean, you know,
I don't necessarily want to comment on that.
Like, he was, I got the impression that he was, you know, that was one of the additional kind of reasons why we were so, you know, pro going against Fire, like the last year.
Wars in Eve have always existed, largely on a grudge match emphasis, right? Like, you have grudges and therefore you go to war and you try to kind of fight it out.
Yeah, but
I don't necessarily want to talk on the. Yeah, I don't necessarily want to comment on that part, but I will say that, like, that is just kind of how the Russian blocks of EVE Online have kind of operated. It's why, in particular, the Imperium has had a generally quite a good relationship with Red Alliance, going back before the Imperium, back to the CFC, and kind of potentially even before that, kind of to the kind of Red Swarm Federation era. Because generally with Red Alliance and the Imperium, the kind of relationship is just upfront, very truthful, very blunt. You know, you say what you mean and you kind of get on with it, kind of deal. Whereas if you try and engage with that sort of block in a bit more of a roundabout way, if that's probably bad wording, but in kind of more of a uncertain manner, you're going to end up fighting them at some point. And this has been proved time and again in EVE Online. You know, that if you...
And as soon as it gets even a little bit personal, that's
oh god. Yeah,
that's
you're
it.
done. The moment there's a grudge for life, pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm
wondering what the grudge is between, you know, between Horde and Fire. That's the thing.
It might just be Horde's bored.
I mean, it could be.
Yeah.
That my initial thought was like, what is the grudge? But yeah, like, you know, as has been said, like, it could just be Horde is bored, let's go and, you know, murder something. But like, the strange thing is, you look at the what is it? You look at the ping from goblins. It seems like there's a grudge there, right? But I don't know how much of that is just like bullshit.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop a Discord link to. Does that Discord link work? Does it come out of that channel? Yeah, it should be fine.
Yeah, it's like so there's part
of
what Robbie said, right?
There's an image link to the ping.
Yeah. And there's that bit there which says like, this is not a content war. Our goals are fully glass In's Mother and Cash and like break apart Fireco as a coalition.
Yeah,
like that to me sounds like, you know, specifically, you know, that this is not a content war. Like, that there is a grudge somewhere, somehow in this.
There's a... I kind of read that a little bit differently. What I read from that is that Horde had learned their mistakes from the last time they came at the Imperium, where they said, we're gonna kill the Imperium. And newsflash, the Imperium's still here, still kicking, still going strong. The way I read that was like, they kind of learned that they need to set minimum goals that they will achieve for this to be considered successful. And then anything after that is a bonus. So, like, if they'd gone into the war with the Imperium saying, okay, our minimum goals for this to be a success for us is to glass Fountain and glass Quarius and glass Period Basis, and anything we can do in Delve as a bonus, it would have been fine. But, like, because they didn't, because they said they wanted to break the Imperium, they had to go all the way and drag it out and just, like, not go home when they wanted to go home.
Yeah.
So that kind of reads to me a bit like they've learned from their mistakes, but also I would say later on in the ping where they say the main hope isn't to take over the regions that they've stated are their minimum possible win condition. Their aim is to kill those regions, glass those regions, and potentially make like a space where new groups can grow into the area, right? And that kind of speaks to me as if there's a little bit of a grudge, because like, hey, we're just gonna go in, we're gonna, to use the proverbial, kick the living shit out of somebody. And then just like throw them out, pretty much, right?
I have to wonder though, like if these alliances all break apart and go like what happens if Fireco goes, Fireco is no more. Welcome to this new coalition called Iceco. Can we live in these regions as a new entity, please? As you have said that these regions should be places for new entities to not get basically, trounced by the large groups in Nullsec.
Are you trying to lawyer the war
announcement? Just be like an
announcement?
instant win for them. Just like, I know this is a technicality kind of thing, but like, essentially you get all of your kind of goals set. We continue to live in our space, and it's fine. And like, we stave off the possibility of, Imperium basically like coming in and dumpstering us, and also PanFam coming in and dumpstering us. Like surely that's just the easy win, right?
Hey, we all know technically correct is the best kind of correct.
Exactly.
It's also the most awkward kind of correct and the most likely kind of correct to get you punched in the face even harder. So,
that just demonstrates that it's the best kind of correct, because it's the kind of correct that forces people to resort to violence.
Yeah.
I mean,
it forces people to look at, what the win conditions that they set out to be basically bullshit.
I mean, the designated win condition, that's always going to be a bit of bullshit, because you're going to be done when you're done, and who knows when that might be, or for what reason that might be.
What I have to wonder is, like, is Gobbins' full goal, breaking apart Fireco as a coalition, also including the minimum goal as well?
Look, at this point, they got 40 days to pull this off, so...
Why
Yes.
40
Interesting.
Days? Why 40
Yes, they
days?
do.
Why 40 days? Eric, can you drop that link into, or either that or put the image on the screen?
What? Of what?
The one that I put in staff only earlier. Because in 40 days, KSP2 drops.
Oh,
they've actually like put a
They've got a
timeline
release
on their
date. Kerbals 2, February 24th.
Okay, now I'm a bit hyped.
Which also means
And-
CCP has 40 days to fix all their shit.
and tell me how Kerbals 2 is different to Kerbals 1.
Among other things, multiplayer.
Multiplayer, also multi planet, right?
Multi-star system.
Ooh,
Yeah.
hello.
You can go beyond your
Expanded
home system.
You can go on
expanded
Infinity.
colony options. You can really set up bases to begin
Like,
industrial activity and set up production for rockets on other.
So it's both
multiplayer,
both multi star system, and you can build colonies, like basically like territory ownership without actual flag planting kind of thing.
Well, no, you can plant flags too.
You can plant. You can definitely plant flags.
Oh, okay, fair enough. And you can
and if you're creative enough with your build, you can definitely set up. You can definitely set up launchable missile systems on your ships.
I mean, I'm just thinking, like, you know, I don't think they've got, like, I mean, apart from fuel tanks that explode, like, they don't actually have actual explosives in the game. But, you know, you can still use kinetic missiles to take out other people's ground installations and stuff, right?
Yep.
So...
Yep. And you can do cooperative competitive play where you have multiple teams of people.
Oh,
I mean, it's
going to be the esports tournament stuff.
It's going to be great.
Esports. How would that'd be interesting.
I've got to say, of all the things in KSP2, though, I'm most hyped for the colonies thing, right? Like, there are mods that you can play with that let you set up refueling bases on other planets. That's just base in KSP2. That's you go there and you set up refineries and you refuel, and then you launch again.
You can set that up in KSP1 now, after some of their later expansions. But KSP2 has a much more robust system where it looks like you'll actually be able to manufacture rockets in situ.
Yeah, like vehicle assembly buildings on other planets and stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, everything you can already do now in Dual Universe.
Well, yeah, but it's KSP.
But it's
Which means it's...
Kerbals.
It's Kerbals, which are lovable green men.
I mean, automatically means that all of the biggest nerds are, like, you know, totally down for this.
Yeah, and B, it's actual, like, real physics.
Okay, so...
if you get caught in a gravity well, you're dead no matter what. Kind of thing.
True.
So, like, Dual Universe doesn't quite have that level of,
True.
I don't want to say realism, but accuracy to the truth.
I loved my space elevator. Sense. That's all I'm saying.
I was going to say, it does have space elevators.
Yeah, Jameston, no, there is no meta show today. We were informed by Briss because of the DC meet today. And their super... big, giant, intergalactic reveal of their new co-host will be revealed next week.
You know what?
What a teaser. Who's it gonna be? No one knows.
I mean, if it's Fountain Frank, I'll be fucking stunned. Because, like, I don't quite know
how,
like,
knows. I can't picture Frank putting up with Brisk that long.
Yeah. Yeah. Tam says she is not the co-host. That's a shame. We would love to see Tam as the co-host. She's amazing. So, you know, if she ever streams, watch her stream. She's fun.
Mm-hmm.
So, Kerbal Engineer. I don't
know. That's a mod. Maybe the mod maker will make it for KSP2, or maybe it won't be necessary. We don't know all too many details about KSP2, it's just like broad strokes. But hey, maybe somebody will make a Kerbal Engineer for KSP2. Either way,
I'm willing to bet they will fairly quickly.
Yeah, like KSP2 is going to be probably pretty awesome, and I'm hyped. I'm very glad that we have a release date. Finally, we've only been waiting for this game for 4 years or something.
I mean, it has a release date. I wouldn't be surprised if that release date was, like, you know, pushed by maybe a week, maybe a month. Like,
Yeah, and we've
when
only
they
been
get
waiting for
re-
this
when they
game for
get-
like 4 years.
when they get really close to it, because you know what deadlines are like when it comes to actually, a final product. Like, yeah, it's good to sort of rally
Well,
everybody.
keep in mind
to,
this
to,
isn't
to a
a
particular
final
point.
product. This is early release, so they're going to keep working on it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's different then. Yeah. Thank you very much, mate.
55 months. That's
And welcome.
a hell of a go.
It is.
We look forward to celebrating your 5 years in a couple of months, I guess.
Ooh.
Nice. That's longer than most car payments, Eric.
Yep.
That's like a mortgage.
We're getting into
I think-
mortgage territory for sure.
Yeah, I think I'm at 42 months, which is, kind of pushing the envelope for a car payment deal, to be honest.
You're definitely way out of the mobile phone range.
Oh god, yeah.
If you accepted a 48-month contract on a phone, you're a fucking idiot. 48 month.
Like, yeah, do not like I won't even do a 36 month, and they try. So some companies try. Like, nah, I'll pay off the phone in 2 years at most, and then think about whether or not I've got better options. Thank you very much.
So I find it very interesting that like we've gone well past. Well, we're now 24 minutes past the Dawn rule, and Dawn hasn't said anything about Eve.
We kind of
Listen, it's not easy to talk in here. You guys have been just enjoying yourselves. Why interrupt?
Oh my god, we've
That's
mellowed Dawn
undawn-like.
out.
Like, what's going on here?
She's trying to appear reasonable because she doesn't want to be screaming at us while she's with her father.
Oh,
Yeah.
good point.
The bit where
Also,
she's in front of
it's-
family means that she can't.
She's out in
like,
public.
Swear at us too much.
She got in the middle of the Smithsonian and go, "Shut the fuck up!"
No.
It's a great image. Though.
out of nowhere as well, like
Just
just
I can
dead
imagine
silence, and then just shut the fuck up.
She can't even tell Mac to shut up so she can get a word in here.
Oh,
No, my throat's a little sore from snoring last night, so I'm like, I'll just let you guys talk.
Her throat's
right.
sore from snoring, is what I got there.
Yep.
Apparently.
Listen, there were no willing goons available. They're all married.
Jesus.
Well, I look forward to third partying on this war. I'm sure we'll come out and poke things occasionally. Or maybe we'll go, since Horde's busy, go poke somebody else that they normally would interfere with. I don't know.
So we did have a patch on Tuesday, it seems.
Yeah, they put in the new Rifter model.
Hmm.
New Rifter model is great. Our team
I
knocked
don't
it
think I've
out
seen
of the
them.
fucking park.
I think I've seen the actual new Rifter model.
It's a bit too symmetrical and it's not quite as rusty as I would like, but
People did say it
With all that
it's basically a higher resolution version of the old Rifter model with animation when it warps.
Oh, okay.
It's really fucking. It's really fucking cool. They released
nice.
a launch video for it and stuff. Let me see if I can find the video so that we
I've
can.
been perusing us actually, which is probably not the best place to sort of be checking out. Like,
It's probably not the best place to do anything. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Let me find this so that Eric can maybe kind of play the trailer. It's a very quick trailer. It's like 30 seconds long or something. Yeah, there we go. There's the link, Eric, if you want to kind of pull it up and we can show off the new Rifter and Matt can kind of finally see it in its new glory. Alright, Eric's going to try and pull up the new Rifter. Like I say, it's not quite as rusty. See, it's quick, right, Eric? Eric apparently muted. What have you got? Apparently Eric's deafening the stream with the volume because
what I do?
Apparently the volume for the video is quite loud.
Yeah, it was a little loud. Sorry, people, but you know.
And that didn't actually show you the animation as it goes into warp or comes out either. So
yeah,
high volume.
But
don't tell them.
That was CCP's trailer. It's pretty.
I was
it's
digging.
Pretty great model.
By the way, I was digging the soundtrack in the headphones here.
Yeah.
I was like, that's not too loud. If you think it's too loud, you're just too old to watch this show. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Okay? By the way, shout out to first time chat here from up north. Okay? He loved the soundtrack just like Eric did. See? Wasn't too loud for him. And by the way, that was just an on the fly, add an element right in. Boom. So sorry, guys, if you oversaw anything. But
yeah, nothing planned here on the Push to Talk show.
Yep. Thank you for following.
Generally not.
What is this P word you just said?
P-word?
Exactly, right?
What P word? Somebody say P word?
I said that nothing was planned.
Planned. Oh.
Ew.
We don't know what that is here.
We are good with no planning, which is not really saying a whole lot, but you know.
Planning is something that people without talent have to do. Although it would help if we actually had. Although it would help if we did actually have talent as well. So
I mean, these guys show up to watch us broadcast for a couple of hours a week, regardless of our lack of talent. So
Okay, so if you want to see, if you want to see the animations, drop the link into staff only, and you want to go to about 1 hour 27 minutes, because it's right. Just share the link because it's right at the end of the stream.
1 hour 20 minutes or so is what we're saying. No, we're not doing that. Eric, do you want suicides live on stream? Because I'm pretty sure listening to that Twitch.
It's at 1 hour 25 minutes or 24 minutes.
Oh yeah, it was in that, wasn't it? Of course. I didn't actually get all the way to the end of it. I kind of rage, sort of like halfway through.
Yeah. See, exactly, right?
It was like good God.
Yeah, I'm not suggesting watch the whole thing. Just
there's nobody in this channel who would actually make it through watching that thing and providing commentary on it. we'd all
I
just want to
tried.
No,
die
but
before.
saw
right at
me-
the end, Convict shows off the warp animations. So
I mean, I tried, and you saw that I did a bunch of kind of like, you know, breakdown of the video and the letter and that kind of thing. But I only made it a certain way through before I, you know, I had to walk away and just calm the fuck down.
Okay.
I mean, it's
Am
CCP Ratatouille and CCP Burger talking shit about EVE
Yeah.
Online.
I mean,
It's gonna be
I do like the
difficult
open
to listen to no matter what.
I do like the open vents for the whatever it is.
when it's
That-
warping,
that's
yeah,
cool. Yeah, when it's warping. So that's pretty cool.
yeah. I think the art team did a good job on the new Rifter.
Yeah.
The art team always do great jobs.
Because
Because
they
they
always
do great work.
they
Because
they
the hosts do good
always
work.
bring their A game. I mean,
Seriously, Eric. Apparently the
Yeah.
stream can hear us, but not you. What
You
have
know,
you done?
see, I don't know. I clicked to a window, I did something, and it automatically mutes me. I don't know what happened. So yeah, we said, you know,
No, they
art
can
team
hear.
A game. I said might be better than their A game. You know, we love them. CCB
I mean-
Burger is a real person, maybe.
but CCP
CCP
Manbjorn
Burger's a real person.
Manbjorn.
Manbjorn, we have no idea about. Manbjorn's an empty suit.
Empty chair.
Manbjorn
he's-
isn't.
No, that's
There is a
CCP
thing.
chair.
Oh, sorry, CCP chair. Sorry, yeah.
CCP chair exists. No, Manbjorn is just the suit laid out on CCP chair.
Exactly.
Manbjorn
Same
isn't
thing.
exactly a staffer. He's more of a like an idea. He's like a concept. Like,
Executive producer in theory.
yeah, exactly.
By the way, the system auto-mutes me when I might say something that might not get me elected to a school official capacity. So
It's
you know, that's what happens.
it's like that.
Why
it's
would
like
you
that,
have to be elected to a school role in that sense? Like
We elect school boards in America. Each school district has its own school board.
that sounds like
Generally,
a really
yeah.
good
Let's
way
not-
to not teach
let's
people
not get
well. But
into-
moving on.
Let's not get into how America does education.
Welcome
because, like,
to the American education
let's
system,
not,
Dirk.
Let's not go down that route because that's
But-
just that leads to crazy. That just,
Don't worry,
it
though.
just leads to insanity.
Don't worry though, Dirk. The American
Leads to.
education system is not as insane as the American healthcare system.
Just I will just remind you, you don't want to disparage
we
us
could-
too much because we have all the freaking nukes.
We
just saying.
we could do like a tier list of like, you know, American governmental institutions.
I don't think that's a
That-
good idea.
That would be a really bad idea for a stream.
I'm just kind of going back to Mac's point of that way insanity lies, and I'm like,
I'm just saying.
that
we-
way it lies there. I'm pretty sure
Look.
we picked that up and carried it like years ago. But
We-
Look,
carrying
at
on.
least once a month, talking with someone who is not in this stream but who is in the UK, there'll be some statement about, oh come on, that's ridiculous. I'm like, yeah, well, you know, that's how it works here. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. It doesn't work. But that's what we've got.
We've got
Well,
better
why would
food
you ever?
than
Why
England.
would you ever do it that way? Money.
Because we do. That's the way it works.
Of course.
That's the way it
that
works.
wonderful god, the dollar bill.
Yep.
Because goddamn capitalism.
The intersection of money and politics. That's why.
Well, now that we've
Whereas we just have crazy.
sufficiently scared our viewers by
I just want to know.
close to politics. I'm trying to avoid the politics rants
Let's-
this week. So like,
Let's
Yes,
let's
let's
just
avoid
say
politics. Let's avoid the caustic topic of politics and instead
please don't get me
something-
started. This
Yeah,
week.
it felt
something
so
much,
caustic.
much more agreeable, much more palatable, and talk about religion.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Well,
Money is a religion.
I mean, so is Jediism.
That's right, but Jediism doesn't tend to fuck people up.
Yeah, no, so is the big spaghetti monster. Okay. The
Oh, what the fuck?
Although, really, with that whole, you can have no real attachments. Maybe Jediism would fuck people up if it were actually instituted on, at scale.
Tom, if you weren't crying already at this sheer the sheer antics that have gone on so far, yeah, you can cry now. That's fine.
It's fine. You can be emotional.
You can cry. Did you just tell a girl to be emotional? Oh my god, that's a whole other topic, McLeod. You're in trouble.
I'm just saying that she's allowed to be
I'm glad you're giving someone permission to validate their feelings.
Yeah. Way to go, McLeod.
Can't say a single thing without it being pulled apart and turned against you. Fucking Christ.
That's what the show is. That's what the show's always been.
Yeah, good point.
Good
fucking point.
This is not the worst time either.
And you know what? And we do this and we act like this and nobody's drinking.
Yeah.
That's right. Imagine if we were drunk.
If we were drunk, that would be insane.
All right, I gotta go to my meeting.
All right, go to your meeting. Did you have fun at the Smithsonian? All right, bye-bye.
Don't tell Asher I meant what I said. He'll understand what I mean.
And he said what he meant. Green eggs and ham.
No, that's Horton Hears a Who.
I know it is. But I like green eggs and ham better.
That's fair.
I mean, there we go. There Dawn goes, having provided not a huge amount of contribution to the show today, apart from the initiation of the Dawn rule.
Yeah,
which without her presence we would have dispensed with.
Shamelessly bullying Dawn over Eve. Oh my god!
I know they're so mean.
We are the worst.
Just awful people. Terrible people.
No.
Cyberbullies.
Tam, we are not allowed to drink on stream.
She signed it too.
I'm
drinking water. I do have water.
I know.
Which
water.
Wait, is that a CCP
fair amount of
rule?
water?
No.
No.
It's
an IN rule.
Okay.
Internal thing.
It's a don't get inebriated and forget about what Twitch rules are.
I try and drink water constantly because if I just sit here all day.
Which is understandable.
Let's just take a moment and appreciate that. That's all Dirk's fault.
It's not all my fault.
I didn't say it was your fault.
It was Dirk's fault.
Oh, yeah, no, that's a fair point, actually. Yeah. Well, that's
By the way,
fair point.
I'm just so used to sort of being the scapegoat.
Fine.
Ernest has been trying to use me as a scapegoat for years, and I haven't let him yet. I'm not going to let him now.
I had forgotten all about him, and all of a sudden on Brisk's Twitter thing, I think, he just reared his head in some comment. I'm like, holy shit, he's still alive.
Of course he's still alive.
Somehow.
It's a lot of drinking. Have you met him at Vegas?
That's what helps him stay alive.
So surprising in some...
It's like Keith Richards.
How is
that didn't really make it to the garbage can behind me. It just bounced off the floor. I missed. Sorry. So, what else we got? Let's check our time here. Time check. 2 o'clock. Yeah. We're at the halfway point.
It's when Dawn usually goes to her meeting.
I know.
You used to go for your meeting.
It's when I used to go to my meeting.
Yeah, exactly.
But then I stopped having that meeting, and Dawn got it instead.
I see that as a win.
Yeah, that's a win. That's a win.
Definitely a win for me, let me tell you.
Win.
Not so much for Dawn.
My only concern is Dawn watching this later on and hearing that and going, what the fuck?
Those bastards.
It's fine. We spent the first half of the show directly bullying Dawn. Now we'll bully Dawn by proxy.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah, exactly.
So we got some cool new art in Eve, right? We've got a war in Eve. We've got. So we'll have some fun in Eve again. A little more.
Hopefully we're getting the Allegiance system soon. Hopefully.
The Allegiance.
No
system.
guarantees.
Yeah. Eve pretty much has
Absolutely.
60 days? Was it 60 days to
40.
40 days.
40 days, and Eve ends because Kerbals 2 is coming out. Right?
40 days to fix.
I'm not going to go so far as to say Eve ends, but you're going to see the active users crater.
Carmervos, yes.
So
there
we
is
got-
a war.
As a crater.
We got the MER, like either this week or last, I think.
Yeah, we haven't talked about the MER this time around. Yeah, the MER
Is it because the MER is so
out.
Is the MER still broken?
It's apparently
I know-
less broken.
It's less broken
it's
than
less
it's less broken than it has been historically, and it's actually got some decent indicators this time. Like there are
I'm
there are
I'm gonna go ahead and throw the link in Twitch chat, and I'll throw it in staff as well. Why not? I'm gonna glance over it real quick, but
there
apparently
are
it is
reasons to
less
be optimistic.
broken. The fact that they've decided to make their graphs a bit more colorful and give them depth rather than just presenting them as a spreadsheet graph kind of makes me go, what? Why? But
And remember to use the HTMLs, not the PNGs that they give you on the page, because you can zoom in on that stuff.
But yeah, I mean, the production versus destruction versus mining graph kind of shows something of a recovery following the middle of last year. It ticked down during the holidays, but that's kind of expected.
Right.
Well, it's like it's not necessarily expected, but it's also the holidays, right?
It's not shocking, right?
It's not a surprise. What else have we got here?
ISK velocity is up.
So more people activating accounts.
No, that's his
more
supply.
people trading.
That's his supply. Right.
More trading.
Yeah.
Each ISK is moving through the system more, so that's a good thing.
Definitely positive.
Right. Mining's had a bit of a downturn toward the end of December, and that looks like it was pretty much everywhere but Potch.
What a surprise!
Right. You know,
Supply took a little bit
the
of a
destruction,
drastic upward
the
trend.
destruction increase that started with the release of Uprising looks like it's been sustained, so that's a good thing. Production is up for Navy ships, especially, but that's by combining the MER and CCP's report on Uprising, and we had that discussion about, you know, is the curiously exactly 1/3 increase in capital production just because Entity wanted one of all 4 Navy dreads and only 12 dreads were built this month.
Yeah,
It was a case of this is a very, very specific slice, which
like that number is
would be much
kind
more
of curious.
Interestingly, not that precisely 1/3 if there were a whole lot more ships being built.
Right.
You know?
Like the fact that Navy ship production overall is up by 14,000%. That's more significant, but that could also be dreads.
That just tells you that
think that's
there
dreads.
are more
I think
Navy
that's
ships
But no,
available.
like think about it. Think about it. Navy ships have this one level of production, right? And then you say, okay, so we've got all of these Navy battle cruisers and Navy cruisers being built, and somebody just built 4 Navy dreads. How does that skew? Well, the value just went through the frickin' roof. But, you know, we also got new hulls, so, you know, obviously the destroyers and shit are also...
I mean, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the destroyers are basically...
Oh, God, yes. The destroyers are probably a huge chunk of it, especially if the capital production is as anemic as we think. And to be completely honest and fair for anybody listening, if we really wanted to, Dirk and I could annoy Reaver until she actually goes through the numbers and tells us exactly how many capitals were built in every system.
You know what? We
Never happened.
actually should do that just for an analytics piece. It's been a while since we've done an MER analytics piece. It would be
it
valuable.
has,
It
but
would be-
really,
great to use
the
that.
real issue is, can we actually poke her enough for her to give a shit?
It'd be great to do that and actually
Maybe.
Maybe.
It'd be great
If
to
somebody
do that.
else agrees to provide the words and she just has to like do the analysis. Like sit down for 3 hours after she's done the analysis and like have her explain it and somebody else write it up. That might work.
It'd be able.
You know
it'd be great to sort of
what we could
grab
do.
that
You know what we
and-
could
We could have
do
an
to like.
editorial meeting.
We could.
Yeah.
We could try having one of those again. Yeah.
We should do
God.
that. We should absolutely. Well, realistically, we should do that anyway. But like,
Well, we need to. Don't we need to figure out when we're doing those again?
yeah, because we tried shifting them to Fridays and it didn't work. So we need to like find a new time during the week to have our meetings.
before it's entirely dead.
You can tell we're real organized here, folks.
Published. We are not dead. Stop spreading that fallacious rumor.
We're not even as dead as Eve.
So, a couple more things from the MER that I want to point out while we're here. One, as much as this is talking about the velocity of this ticking up and that being a good indicator, I do also want to point out that the money supply did also tick up over the last couple months,
which
quite
indicates
significantly.
Which probably
and it's all in
indicates.
characters.
Yeah, and that probably indicates people reactivating accounts.
Exactly, because we know,
or at the very least, logging in for the Christmas event giveaways.
Yeah, we know from long experience that the money supply is basically a track of active corporation assets and also active ISK available to characters in the last 30 days. It's a 30-day measure, so if you are inactive in EVE Online for 30 days, your data, your money drops off the graph because you aren't doing anything. And then when you reactivate, that is now included. So if a lot of people reactivate at the same time, it causes this spike. That's kind of how the money supply situation works. It's a bit weird, but you know what? CCP.
And just to circle back around to the production mining destruction graphs, because this is a point I made on the forum in the discussion thread about this, but a lot of the times it's easy for one or two really big events to skew those 7-day rolling averages, which is what the dark line there is. But if you zoom in on the HTMLs, you see the actual daily amounts that go into that rolling average. And what we see in December is that the troughs are less frequent, and when they happen, the troughs are well above the rolling 7-day average from October. Even the low points in December on destruction are above where we were 2 months earlier. So that is a good sign. Very
positive. You know, things heading in the right direction. Other things that have struck me,
and I want you all to take a moment here and understand something. Dirk and I are both saying these are positive indicators. There are positive indicators for EVE.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Dig a bomb shelter right now. The end is nigh.
This disturbs me. I
We've started to say that EVE might be recoverable. We've been so fucking.
You're making Tam cry. God.
It's like what you did. But no, like it's
seriously, if you're looking for the rapture, this might be it. Just saying.
This is the first of the 4 seals. First of the 7 seals. Sorry. There's a lamb somewhere over there that's about to get ridden down by a horseman. But no, it's more seriously, it is actually good to see that after so many years of just feeling kind of downtrodden about all of this stuff, there are actually positive signs. There are things that we're seeing that are good. You know, we're seeing the faction warfare stuff continue. Theoretically, we'll see what happens when that comes out in sometime this quarter.
But if this continues, just to once again repeat myself from the thread, if this continues, thank God Almighty, and I say that as an atheist, for CCP Aurora, because she's probably the best hire since Guard.
Yep.
Yeah, probably. In terms of the work that she's doing, she brought back tournaments.
Exactly.
Now she's resurrecting the fucking game. Like, CCP Aurora is that their own, like, CCP Aurora is like CCP's personal exorcist at this point.
Really?
Drive out the bad spirits, bring in the salt and iron, and suddenly the house looks like it might stay standing. So there's one other thing that kind of has piqued my interest as I've been scrolling through the MER real quick here.
Yes.
And that is the commodities graph. Commodity faucets over time. Where
hang on, I hadn't actually looked at that.
Overseer's personal effects has spiked from approximately like 0.35 trillion-isk faucet to more than a trillion-isk as a faucet.
Oh.
Which has also, incidentally,
that's actually really good.
Massively spiked the commodity market such that it has overtaken bounty prizes as the top ISK faucet in the last little while. And also,
how often that's occurred.
Well,
it typically, funnily enough,
that is almost completely driven by the overseer's effect, isn't it?
Yeah. The commodity market typically exceeds, or has typically exceeded for the last couple of years since they introduced the DBS, has typically exceeded bounty prizes. But bounty prizes had spiked back up after some DBS changes and had overtaken commodities again.
Right, and this shows that maybe the DED sites are starting to get...
It's potentially a reversal yet again of this kind of
format. But it's... I don't know that I see it necessarily as a reversal. I see it as kind of as ratting spiked, like ratting spiked up, right? When they undid the DBS changes, when they fixed the DBS, basically, ratting jumped up,
went back to where it was,
which meant that people started getting more escalations.
Yeah.
And so
this is a lagging indicator of that. So this is an expected consequence of more ratting means more DED sites.
Because you don't run to to jitter as soon as you get one overseer effect. Like you build it up for a little while.
Yeah, you throw them in a jump freighter.
You throw them all into a jump freighter.
Right.
Yeah.
But so I see this as more evidence of sustained improvement.
Leroy in Twitch chat also saying that the winter event sites spawned OPs as well. So
okay, there we go. That's also another thing.
Yeah, that'll definitely have spiked.
Compounding factor for sure.
Good.
So we'll see how well that, because you do see it trailing off right at the end, on the graph. So we'll see how that looks in February and see if that's sustained.
Yeah. The other very amusing thing for me, I'm glad to see it because fuck Pochvan, but the corporation reward payout for Triglavian invasions, which, given that Triglavian invasions don't exist in K-space nowadays, as far as I'm aware, they only exist in Pochvan. As far as I'm aware, that payout dropping is noticeable, but Pochvan getting nerfed into the ground is
Mm.
not something that I'm sad about. Sorry, CCP, but you could have done so much better with that, and you didn't. And so it should just be left to die. Like focus on better features for more players. Thanks.
It was an amazing event to be involved with and to see happen and all that jazz. But like the aftermath of it was just a massive collection of balls that CCP dropped.
Yeah, like the expansions could have been more, but they were overall quite good in terms of like an arcing storyline.
Right.
But yeah, the way the gameplay just kind of stagnated.
To borrow an old MMO meme, as far as the follow through goes, CCP, you were not prepared.
All right, calm down, Illidan.
Come on, Sloth. Right. That was calm for Illidan. His good morning is, you were not prepared!
Yeah, okay, you got a point.
There's
Illidan,
some other...
voiced by Clayface from Harley Quinn.
Oh my god.
That's right.
Nested
references.
Oh, Jesus.
A couple of other interesting things that I haven't seen in an MER before, but I'm going to kind of shout out as notable changes that I think are positive. EXS thefts are included.
Can I just looking at the top 6 commodity forces over time, can I just say that there is an interesting regularity to this massive overseer personal effect increase every January? Is that down to the whole winter? Like it must be down to the winter thing.
It's not just every January. There are typically spikes.
Yeah, but like there's massive spikes, like January 22 and January 21.
The spikes are. I would say that the spikes are probably related to winter events dropping OPEs.
Winter events.
More people around.
Because
like the other side of that is holiday period, so more people are around to play games, right? Like you can spend time a bit more on that. Okay. So there's probably a couple of different factors, but it is a very significant spike compared to where the rest of the year has been. We haven't seen major spikes in this year, so for it to suddenly shoot back up, we'll see how it looks in January and February, but it'll be definitely interesting. What are you investigating around this?
I want to see if we've got. I don't remember how long we've got that specific tracker for, so I'm looking back through.
In terms of our data or CCP's data? Because Reaver almost certainly has this back to like 2012 or something.
Yeah, she does. Like what I've got easily available. Let's see. Commodities.
Up north saying that he's gonna log in and do some PI. I'm very sorry for you. You have my condolences and my commiserations for the fact that you are logging in and doing PI.
Okay, let's see now. Top 6 commodities over time, overseer personal effects, and this is from May of 21. Yeah, we don't start seeing those January spikes in the personal effects until 2021.
Yeah, but they started doing different things with events around then to try and encourage more engagement.
Right. I'm just looking back through to the May 2018 data that's presented here.
Loot table changes for events, which is why you kind of see them throughout the year as well.
Right.
It's not just January. It's if you kind of look, there's a pretty consistent not great up spike, but an up spike around about April or so, and then another one in kind of July-ish, I think.
Yeah, at least one of those is the Guardians Gala.
Oh no, sorry. About April, May time is pretty consistent, and then there's also another one around about. I don't know. CCP's graphs are really difficult to read in terms of timeline because they only give you 2 points of reference through the year. But it looks like there's another one, probably the October event, I would say. It's that additional up spike in H2. So definitely like CCP doing some interesting things there. There's also some like odd up spikes with like the quote unquote miscellaneous line in that graph, which knowing CCP could mean literally anything. You know, the miscellaneous is just there. Just whatever isn't already defined just gets thrown in there, kind of thing. Random items that don't exist for more than just one event, which would be why you would see these spikes. You know, the items exist for a while and then they stop existing.
Right.
But they are quite significant spikes in the sense that in some cases they exceed, you know, Triglavian data. Sometimes they exceed.
So the spikes.
What's a bounty encrypting bond? That's another question. Like, what?
I don't remember. But the spikes and the personal effects are in November. Well, the first one's in late February going into March. Then
Valentine's Day event.
Then April into May.
Easter event.
There's a couple of smaller peaks on May 28th and June 10th. And then there's the peak on September 23rd. Like I say, if you go into the HTML files, this is really easy to drill down
on. I mean, I'm just kind of glancing over for the sake of the show, but
and also when you zoom in on the HTML, you actually do get more month differentiation at the bottom of the chart.
Oh, it's good to know.
Yeah.
So the November thing kind of ties with the Halloween events. People do the event and then export their stuff. So like these timelines all kind of correlate to major events that CCP do year in, year out. So kind of makes a lot of sense. And yeah, we should probably actually do an analysis of the new MER and what it means and a couple different things, because it is a new presentation of data. The MER has changed, and so we can't.
Oh, I was looking at that because like there were a few new kind of graphs, a few new sort of breakdowns of information.
Yeah, going back to old MERs is definitely not an apples to apples comparison.
Yeah, because like we get like main bank thefts and stuff like that, and that apparently started off. That started in April.
These are graphs I haven't looked at before,
which are really quite cool. I'm liking that.
Yeah, they're doing much better with
the. Yeah, the other one is actually the one that started off in October, which I think is actually really useful as well, which is the trade balance for blue loot and gas and materials. Like it's actually broken down, which is pretty cool. And that's really awesome.
Oh,
that's right at the
bottom. That's really cool little presentation.
That's a lot of like really useful information as well. Like awesome stuff. Like awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, CCP Estimate, for that.
CCP. It's funny that this is kind of like the first time that I'm really drilling into it, because things are actually starting to look up again. Even though some of these graphs, like the SS thefts and stuff, have existed for a while.
Well, the thing is,
it's really interesting looking at this, because generally I rely on some of our data analyst friends to kind of feed me the information on it, and they've kind of been
a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Well, noisy for sure, but also we have Reaver, we have Boris, you know, people who do drill down and do analysis, and then they feed back to basically say, these are the positive, negative kind of aspects of what last month's MER showed. And it's just that kind of bit of, all right, yeah, we've had a standby for like years at this point when it comes to the MER of, well, shit's fucked, yo. And shit is apparently starting to become unfucked, which is a really, really good sign.
It started to show signs of being unfucked last month in the MER, which is totally not unsurprising, or totally not surprising, because that was the first MER that included the beginnings of the Uprising patch, which looks like it seriously has unfucked things, at least for now.
Some things,
and you know, it kind of kills me that I've still got to qualify that, but it also kind of kills me that I'm looking at this going, I don't want to qualify that. That's fucking weird. Let me tell you.
It's great, but we have this whole thing of like, you've got to keep going. If you don't keep going, it's just going to go right back to where it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I at least hope that this, this more thorough and interesting kind of like breakdown and seemingly more accurate and more kind of holistic kind of look.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely more accurate. We haven't had missing chunks of data in months.
Exactly. Well, what I'm hoping is I'm really hoping that like this, just overall much better sort of breakdown and representation of the data, as well as the accurate kind of aspect of the data, is something that is actually helping CCP internally as well.
I hope so as well, and I would just like to give a shout out and deep appreciation to the author of the MER's graphs, the
CCP
appropriately
estimate.
named CCP estimate.
Oh yeah.
And yes, I checked. That is an actual CCP character in the game, so that's not just them going, we're generalizing.
That's the new. I say new. He's been around a while now. He's he's a data analyst for them. He's actually related to CCP Quant, like literally related to CCP Quant.
Well, he's the new Quant in at least more general terms of what Quant is.
Yeah.
So yeah, good job.
Like
doing some solid work.
The family business is analyzing CCP's data.
It's a terrible business for your family to be stuck in.
I feel so sorry for that kind of situation. That's what it is.
Hey, well, if in a generation they can turn around and say, my family brought EVE Online out of the dumpster, then that is a laudable thing.
Yes. Yes.
The biggest society emulator known to man was brought out of the dumpster fire by our family. This is like fine.
That is an achievement. Yes.
That is quite the achievement.
And it lets Larrikin focus on the tool development that he actually wants to be doing, which is also good.
Game stuff and development stuff rather than doing the analytics.
Yeah.
See, we can be nice about CCP.
Look, it's shockingly easy to be nice about CCP when they're doing things right.
Amen.
And we've always said this, right? We don't shit talk CCP because we want to be shit talking CCP or because we like being negative about the way things are.
Yep.
We just like to actually talk about things the way they are. And sometimes
I
the
guess
way they are is fucked.
We could have talked a bit nicely about CCP with regards to CCP estimate earlier on in this year as well. But certain things crop up that CCP like to promote about things.
Yeah, and you don't necessarily
ridiculous and
you don't necessarily realize that hey, this is a thing you should be talking up right away. So
but I'm glad that we found that we could talk up CCP estimate because he's doing awesome stuff.
Yeah, if we had actually realized that there was like good work going on in that kind of analytics and data analysis kind of situation, I'm sure we would have talked him up well earlier than we have.
Oh God, yes.
But unfortunately, it takes the rest of the game being on an upturn for us to actually think, okay, well, where are our indicators of this being a good upturn, a consistent upturn, and
then getting to the damn, these are good charts.
Yeah, right.
I know.
Like,
that's what I thought. I was like, I'm just scrolling down, kind of going like,
there's always good work going on in places, but like, you have to. If it's buried under a mountain of other shit, it doesn't get seen. It all has to be going well for it to be.
Hello, Bard.
Apart.
Oh, Bard Ghost is here.
Oh my god, a wild Bard Ghost on the show.
Whoa.
Sorry, I've been driving family about and shit.
Oh, there was an even August random graph, like literally it's labeled random graph. Thank you very much, Estimate. Like called wealth distribution in EVE Online. It's fucking fantastic. Like, hang on, I'll link this.
Where is this? Which graph is this?
I'll link this in staff. It's in which one is it? It's in the August 2022, like right at the bottom. It just says random graph wealth distribution in EVE Online.
Hey,
pull
look,
up August.
At least we're not talking about 1%ers here.
By the way, Estimate, if it ever gets slightly monotonous, doing this, by all means, make a random graph that is
dude,
and just like put it in there. Like it's always
something you're curious
to see
about.
Whatever funky stuff,
way.
funky stuff tickles you that month, throw it in.
Totally.
Yeah. I mean, we will.
Randomgraph.png is included in the download, by the way.
That's amazing.
Honestly, I'd love to see to this a number put to what each what would you call it?
I don't know.
Segment would be.
Which segment? Oh, of the percentages on the random graph?
Yeah. Just how much is the top 5%? Right.
This feels
like. When you
it's
say
like,
how much, do you mean how many people?
The top 5.
No, the value of the wallet.
Right,
the
but
value of the okay.
Right,
yeah.
but that's just it though. Like, you can say that, but at the same time, that's let's see, that's August, so
67.7% of the entire
67%
of the entire wealth of
no,
online is held
not the
top 5%.
No, whoa, no, not the entire wealth. You've got to read
just liquid ISK.
You've got to read the note, which
liquid,
is that
non-liquid player assets.
It's not assets. It's not corporation assets. It's not how much ISK is held by corporations.
It's personal.
This is specifically
personal liquid ISK.
Liquid ISK in your wallet that you could spend
so it's
right
money
now.
Supply. Where's
and
that one?
you can probably figure. Arendis is now trying to
you just got to pull up the money.
Reverse engineering it to figure out where how much that looks like.
Character money supply was 1.181 trillion. I'm sorry.
So
no. Character money supply was 1.181 quadrillion.
So approximately 700 trillion ISK is held by the top 5%.
Right.
Jesus fuck.
650 to 700 trillion, yeah.
1181 times.
Yeah,
that really puts it into perspective when people talk about like having 2 or 3 trillion and considering themselves to be one of one of the wealthiest people in EVE. Like
I mean, how many
when you're into the trillions, like
back?
Well, the 5%
791
right?
trillion in the top 5%.
So like at that point, So what's the 95% cutoff? What wallet value do you have to slot into that? Right.
I would require player numbers and player numbers on the money supply side.
But they don't have to specifically give that, right? They could just give.
Why is
they're not going to give you. They're not going to give you the absolute number of active monthly active users.
And
that's
here's
what you
the other.
need.
No,
here's the other
I see what
side
you mean
of
there,
it,
because
is
you could reverse engineer it.
If they give you the minimum barrier of entry to get into that point, you could start figuring out, okay, this is the range of player numbers that could conceivably hold this amount of ISK based on the minimum barrier of entry to the 90th percentile and the 80th percentile and 70th percentile. Because if they give you it for the 95th, they have to give you it for everything else. And so that gives you, like, not exact numbers, but it gives you a range of player counts that could exist based upon the amount of ISK in the money supply and what have you. You could play around with the data quite a lot and find a hell of a lot of CCP's metrics from that.
By comparison to that 791 trillion in the top 5%, the next 5% between them have 153.6 trillion as of August.
So what's that? The 90 to 95%.
That's the 90 to 95.
Mm-hmm. And it's going to be similar-ish numbers to the 80 to 90, and then it just drops off a cliff to 4%.
80 to 90 is 122.
I mean, this is the interesting thing, is that this is like raw liquid ISK. This isn't assets, and I don't know about anybody else in the show, but when it comes to like my wealth in EVE Online, the asset, like everything that I have access to that I would consider to be wealth or valuable assets, the vast majority of what I own in EVE Online is in physical assets.
Right, it's not liquid.
So, like, I can quite easily lay hands on like 150, like, more,
the 10% of the population
worth of stuff.
The 10% of the population from 70 to 80, what you might consider upper middle class, okay, has between them 51 trillion.
But that's
and that's a whole 10%.
Right. As opposed to 5% who have about 800 trillion.
Jesus.
Liquid.
That's just liquid as well,
Again, assets that I can lay my hands on very easily. 150, 200 billion ISK. I have about 10 billion liquid ISK in my wallet.
What I'd love to see is
kind of how it goes.
Because these are both percentages, right? So you could basically, if you made the same graph, but instead of liquid ISK, it was value of assets, right? Asset value.
That would be very different.
Not including corporation accounts or alpha users, that sort of thing, right?
Right.
Both of them being in a percentage, like you could actually overlay one on top of the other. It would be interesting to see the sort of like the difference in the kind of like the.
I'm not sure there would be one.
The curve of the graph.
I think there might be one because, like, I actually ultra rich hold that money in order to be able to, to play the market, in order to sort of, put money into things and then sell it out.
That's true. It might be steeper.
I think it would be like a different presentation, right? I think you'd see a lot more of an earlier start in terms of the wealth distribution in terms of assets. I think you'd see the graph kind of start sloping up, within that 20 to 30 percentile, but probably with about 10%, that graph would start to slope up, and it would slope up more gently, and then become very harsh. It's
near
not
the end, just be like, right up.
This is the thing, because the people with a lot of ISK have a lot of ISK to purchase assets that are appreciable. Whereas the lower end, they have assets that they've spent money on, and those assets may be valuable, but they don't have additional liquid on top of the assets. They're still trying to build that. So, I think we'd see a much more gentle slope early on, and then it would become very quickly steep. Probably around about the 97th percentile, I would say.
Well, if we're talking about assets, like maybe it would be a good idea to exclude things like Plex, like people just sitting on a small mountain of Plex.
Unless Plex exists in a hangar, it's not an asset in that sense. It's
It's
I'm just
currency,
thinking
but
in
it's
terms of
not
assets,
ISK. Honestly,
Yeah.
I think that we should. In fact, I'm going to go do that.
We should ask for this.
Yeah,
This is information that would be
cool.
interesting.
I just
Yeah,
think
we'd
it's
love
cool,
to see
looking
this.
at like how this functions.
No,
how this,
like just
plays out.
generally like the asset graph overlaid over the ISK graph. Can we have this more regularly? The wealth distribution versus the asset wealth distribution, and overlay them, and like give us these cool graphs that we're talking about. We're speculating about how it would look, and
yeah. That's
it would actually be incredible to see what it properly fucking looks like. Why should we not ask for this from this analyst?
I'm going to say something borderline heretical.
Oh dear.
If people like Rotati had led with graphs like this when they were trying to say what they were trying to say, they might have had a little bit more buy-in.
Yeah, but they wouldn't have, because the graphs didn't show this, because we were doing data analysis.
I will disagree
with
you.
I know.
They led with the conclusion first, and then tried to find associated stuff that they could claim was the reasonings for them doing what they're doing. It was the opposite way around. Rather than going with a data first sort of perspective on things in terms of changing and augmenting the game and making the game better, they went for we're just gonna will up some kind of rando sort of thing that we think is probably going to be how the game should function.
It's funny, we were talking about this.
Kind of work backwards.
We were kind of talking about this last night in that 0.1 ISKing has changed the way that market traders work. It's driven down the total amount of trade. It's driven down the ISK velocity.
Are you talking about when they changed it so you couldn't?
Yeah, from changing it to like being able to use decimal values of ISK to changing it to 4 significant figures. That drove down trade interaction massively in all of the market hubs. We know this. We have the data. We've analyzed the data. We know that change drove down market interaction massively.
Yeah, and CCP it was not a small amount.
Because CCP did it because they wanted to do it, but the justification that they provided was responses to a poll in which they had included...
A poll that was loaded as well.
In which they had included 0.1 ISKing, as in changing market orders by 0.1 ISK to either go above a buy order or undercut a sell order. They'd included this in a section talking about botting and cheating.
Yeah.
And so suddenly, 0.1 ISKing, according to their survey, which they'd included it in the section about botting and cheating, was a major issue, which justified their action against people who 0.1 ISK. And basically market traders.
Yeah. And counting it as a form of cheating.
And regardless of whether or not that was accurate, that was what they did. So, like, CCP the idea that CCP, if they'd led with a data analysis and a data understanding perspective first, excuse me, if they'd led with that first, then we probably would be in a better situation. But CCP have a history of not doing that. And so now that we are starting to see things tick up again in the graphs, in the metrics, we have to kind of still take the approach that CCP, we have to encourage their qualitative ideas that are good, not because they will provide solid, quantifiable improvements, but because if we don't say that this qualitative idea is good when it's quantifiably good, CCP will go back to using bad qualitative ideas.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't want to lay the sort of like the fate of the the entire universe is on your hands. CCP estimate, but like it's good that they're getting good data now, and that's at least nice that they actually have a more accurate kind of understanding
Bard,
of their game.
I want to disagree with what you said in a very, very narrow way. If they had been able to lead with graphs like this, or if they had produced the graphs to give them accurate representations of the data, made plans based on those graphs, and then led with the graphs to show the player base, here's what we're looking at, here's what we need changes. I don't think there is any might have about whether or not they would have gotten more buy-in. They absolutely would have gotten more buy-in.
We are a bunch of nerds who like our data and appreciate when
I'll
data
fix
is
what I say. I mean it in terms of like they'd have got more buy-in, but it still wouldn't have been full. Is what I kind of meant when I said might have got.
You never get full
because
buy-in.
There'd have
There's
still
always
been the no, don't touch our fucking mining ships. Even if they had managed to say, look at say this graph we've just seen, and somehow linked it to the justification, which I don't think would still be right, because that would be drawing some really random conclusions.
It depends. Like if we can
trying to link a Liquidus graph to mining doesn't quite work because it's assets.
That's a different question, but that's a question of how you view the data. But the point is that if they'd actually kind of gone, here is the data, here are our conclusions, this is what we want to do based on that data and these conclusions. Like a lot of people would have kind of looked at that and gone, okay, let me just run some numbers real quick, or let me get my friend to run some numbers real quick. And then we'd have kind of taken a look at it and gone, okay, we get the same conclusions as they do running these numbers.
Yeah.
This is actually a...
That would have gone...
all right,
that
sure, you're trying to address very specific problems that we can see and you can see, and it's all fine. Right? Yeah, sure, great, let's get behind it. But yeah, we should, like... I'm assuming you've already sent the tweet or whatever.
I have posted to the MER thread a request for more random graph.
Awesome.
Or just more random graphs in general.
More random graphs as well. They're a talking point. We've been talking about this for 20 minutes because you came up with a thing that was called random graph. Okay, let's talk about what the random graph is. Why the fuck not?
See, this is why I know that we're nerds. Is that we can look at a single graph and be like, yes, this is a good discussion point for a good 20-30 minutes.
The other thing that I want to talk about today, or that I would like to expose on the show today, is something that I'd like to throw to Sothrasil to talk about, because he's been notably quiet today.
Oh, he has been, actually.
He has definitely been not working on
by the way,
really bad idea.
By the way, just want to say I got a survey. I got a survey from CCP about activity during the year and what things interest you. All right.
Was it broken?
And was that 77?
It was absolutely broken.
One?
But the anger games were definitely on it, Soth. Good job.
Nice.
We made it to a CCP survey, and it is kind of related because this is why I want to throw it to Sothrasil. We want to big up our friends. We always like talking about cool shit that's going on and what our friends are doing. Soth, something happened today within our general scene in EVE. What's going on? Tell us about it.
Yeah, so Jintan, which you guys might know from his glorious makeup every time he goes live on a stream.
You may know him from shows such as
that amazing fucking money suit is, dude.
Yeah,
the golden tie.
It's the only way that you could describe it, the money suit.
Yeah, so Jintan is organizing his own tournament now because he had an idea, and he's apparently as stupid as Doug and me. And the sign-ups started today. So if you would like to get into tournaments, then you should definitely head over to his Discord and sign up.
I'll have a link for in just a second.
And we are definitely not putting more pressure on him by throwing more teams at him, because
Oh dear.
Yeah, it's not like thrice as many teams signed up than he expected.
Is he calling it Yintan's Baked-a-thon?
No, it's the Captain's Cup.
Ah,
that's
yes.
Probably pretty good, actually.
And
I mean-
here's a neat little tidbit. He needed a logo for his tournament. So he actually had an AI design multiple logos for him, and he picked the best one.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, he was looking for a server icon and just went, all right, where's the AI image generator? Here are my keywords. But yeah, so this tournament's actually quite interesting because since the resurrection of tournaments in 2020 or so, typically they followed similar formats in terms of creating compositions and kind of figuring out which ships you're going to use. It's a points-based system. You have X amount of points to use, and you kind of just fill your potentially as many as 7 or 10 ship slots with ships adding up to X point total. Jinton's doing it differently, isn't he?
Yeah, so he's going for a 6 versus 6 player match structure. And instead of having point systems, he has a class system. So for every slot you have,
How very
for all
British.
6 slots, for each of them you have a class that you can pick from. So for example, the first slot is battleships only, and the second slot is battle cruisers and navy battle cruisers, right? And then you have a slot for cruisers. I believe it's navy cruisers and so all faction cruisers, and then another slot for Logi, Tech 1 Logi only, because Tech 2 are a bit too overpowered, and so it keeps going down.
Yeah.
So it's a bit easier for newer teams because you don't have to come up with like a whole composition. You can kind of like pick out of a short list of ships, right, for each slot. So that makes it a bit easier for newer teams.
There's also not quite so much opportunity to do crazy off the wall ideas, right? Like jamming pseudo tinker, which is jargon that I'm not expecting a lot of people who are watching us to understand when I say what a jamming pseudo tinker. But what this basically means is a lot of ships that have jams on them are running with a very tight core that cap transfers to the Logi, so the Logi can consistently run. You use something like a Basilisk and you cap transfer it from a Scorpion and another Scorpion and a Widow and that kind of thing. So this definitely kind of makes it a bit easier to, like Sot said, draft ideas for what ships you're going to use, how you're going to use them, and kind of also pushes some of those teams that would really lean into the edge case to just kind of do a bit more standard stuff and potentially give you a hell of a lot of experience against potentially better teams, because you're all on more of a level playing field than you might be when the only limits are the number of points you can use and your creativity, your imagination with ships. So, final point on the Captain's Cup. They've got also a different bit of a match structure for the main tournament, right?
Oh, you're asking me about that because that's hella complicated.
they're doing group stages.
They're doing
right?
GSL group stages, yeah. Which means every team at least has 3 matches in the tournament before they're eliminated.
Is this different from other tournaments? Yeah.
Like other tournaments usually do double elimination. And as the name suggests, you have 2 matches before you're eliminated. And a lot of tournaments also have single elimination in the feeder rounds. So feeder rounds being what you have to go through if all the slots in the tournament are full, and the organizers need to reduce that number of teams.
Things are oversubscribed. There's more applications than actual teams competing. Exactly. Or than actual teams that can compete, I should say. Group stages are kind of a bit new, almost, to EVE tournaments, right?
I mean, we've seen group stages in the AT before, but usually it's double elimination. We've actually seen group stages in last year's AT for the feeders.
Yeah, that was interesting. Very fun, interesting. Something like that. I'm saying absolutely nothing about my own personal experience with that situation. And I'm just going to pick out a quick question from Twitch chat, which is a first-time chat as well on this topic. Rudolph Montgomery, why did Sothersol say that T2 logi ships are overpowered? They don't do very much damage at all. what makes logi ships overpowered here, Soth?
Well, they might not do a lot of damage, but they
do have
negate
drones.
a lot of damage.
That sounds like you're not fitting enough Horgons on your T2 logi.
Exactly.
And
drones as
well. All logi needs to carry one repper and weapons. That's the way they should be fit. That's the way they should always be fit. That's the way everyone should fit them. It gives you remote repairs, but it also gives your fleet more actual damage application. Use it that way in tournaments, use it that way in small gang, use it that way in large fleet engagements. That is the proper way to use logistics ships.
You just
don't forget they're perfect.
If you are a member of RepSwarm, we will be having further discussions about this, where I will tell you exactly why you should never fucking do that. But if you're not part of the Imperium, totally fit guns.
But just advocated for spider tanking blaster execuras. That's what just happened there.
Hey, can I just remind everyone that it's all perfectly balanced anyway, as logi don't get on kill mails.
This is
they will if they have guns.
Exactly.
Yep.
You know that is the fix. There you go, guys. Like, you know, the fix was there all the time.
You want your logi on kill mails? Just shoot something with it.
The thing is, people did do that. They put a drone in to fucking get on kill mails.
A single horde drone is fine.
Before people actually, you know, realized the error in their ways, people always used to sort of fit the final high slot in on scimitars with a 125 AC, like all the time.
Yeah,
you can basically feel Arendis getting mad at you.
Yeah.
No, I'm not getting mad at Mac. I'm not getting mad at Mac. Mac is simply reviewing historical behavior that I am well aware of and may or may not have told an entire logi group from Razor. I swear to God, I will have fucking Villy shoot you myself during the Halloween War.
Oh God, references from way back in the day.
That was actually set there, like.
I know.
Someone mentioned Razor.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were one of the groups that were always fitting fucking guns on their logi. All of their logi had a single gun.
I used to be in Razor at one point. Yeah, T-Grads used to be in Razor. And a long history of being in Razor, but being a little bit aggravated by the fact that nobody in in leadership at Razor ever really cared or what T-Grads thought about stuff. So,
and I have to say, I am kind of shocked that Reaver Geist managed to fly logi in Razor without fitting a weapon.
Going out of her mind,
or she may have simply never fired it.
Who are Razor with now?
Razor are just Razor. They're over in.
I think they're in Fire, aren't they?
They're in Detroit and Amencia and Wicked Creek. So yeah, they're probably in Fire.
Yeah, because they were part of
not be able
they were
to find
part of
them
that
again.
group when we were there deployed to attack Fire.
No,
before...
guys, you got that totally wrong. Razor isn't in Fire. Razor is on fire all the time.
They will be soon, so.
Well
I mean,
wow. Okay.
If they're on fire with like 1,300 members. So like, they're not doing too terribly, which is
body fat makes good fuel for a fire.
Well,
exactly.
Exactly. I'm just going to point out that quality and quantity aren't the same thing.
Oh my god!
It's feeding off players off.
I would just point out, as much as we may give them a hard time sometimes, Razor does have, how many is it? Like 13 something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
1,300 members. 1,309.
Yeah. Which is twice what Space Monkeys has.
Wait, they're still around?
I don't know if they're active. They got 6 corporations and 736 members. That could all be inactive.
Oh dear God!
People that never logged in.
You may also be counting quite a lot of inactives in Razor as well.
Let's find out.
You could always be
last ships lost in Space Monkeys. January 12th this year.
Wow.
2 days ago.
Yeah.
Although 2 days ago,
Capsule and Adventure
does tell me it's probably inactive as hell.
When was the last ship lost in Razor? Becomes the comparison point.
5 minutes ago, probably.
Ooh.
Could they find the ship to undock?
All right, let's see. Razor Alliance losses January 14th at 20:02 Eve time. With
literally about 30 seconds ago.
Yeah.
So 12 days seconds ago.
They're probably losing shit right now.
Oh, it is literally right now. And
yeah, because like, it looks like they're
losing it to Horde.
Yeah,
I would like to say that if we're talking about lost mails and stuff and losses, then we should also talk about.
Quick, somebody get to Innsmother, JTech ZYSC. See if it's actually a fight.
To be honest, to the credit of Razor, it looks like they're beating Horde.
I mean, it's Horde.
Heresy. Razor can never be anything, but also, Sots point stands.
Yeah.
Let's see. NC's apparently on the field.
No, well, they're.
Would NC be
that's a retirement home anyway, so.
Yeah. I'm looking to see how many NC are on the field.
About 12.
About 12.
12 of them
so they can undock now.
Yeah, some 12 of them found the undock button. Yeah.
Eve Tools is only showing 3.
Oh.
Along with 4 from Slice.
Oh dear God.
Wow, the day when Slice actually outnumber NC on the field.
Yeah.
I thought Slice had folded like a couple of years. Jesus.
Yeah, and there look to be only 5 Razor in this fight, but
they outnumber NC.
All things considered, right now, okay, the fact that the Fire group, which apparently includes 2 goons, I don't know. The fact that they are losing 6.6 billion to 2.5 billion, right? That actually speaks well of them, since they're outnumbered 84 to 300.
Wow.
I would like to say though, considering our previous topic that we were talking about, you never know. The entirety of NC might be the Logi wing for Horde.
Entirely possible.
Entirely possible. Hey, look, why would you have something that can keep your ships on the field when you could just have more ships on the field?
Yeah.
I'm going to drop off. I'll be back later.
This is true.
Well,
but
we
yeah,
are. I will tell everybody we've had such fun today. We are 5 minutes over.
We are.
I mean, that's.
But that was
pales in
entirely the
comparison
discovery
to,
of Razor being in a fight.
Razor.
There you go.
We found Razor.
We found
we
Razor.
found Razor. We found them.
They're in JTech Z.
Woo!
I don't know why we looked for Razor, but we did find them.
Because it's always better to look than to just find a Razor randomly when you're not expecting it.
Right.
Yeah,
That's why.
that's absolutely true. Never step on a Razor.
I found a razor. Where is it? In my foot.
That would hurt, man.
It could have actually become kind of annoying and very painful. Ow. Well, it's in my foot.
I'm amazed we haven't seen that kind of like that particular kind of post on r/Eve, like just someone with like a razor sticking out of their foot, going, "I found razor.
I found Razor."
Free fucking meme idea, guys. Go ham.
There you go.
No, it's that flag with the fucking snake on it that says "Don't step on me," but instead it's just a razor.
No.
Yeah, but that's gonna lead to the shot of a Razor in the foot on a yellow background. It just says, and underneath it, "I stepped on Razor." I mean,
yeah. I mean, Razor, come on.
This,
free
you know what?
propaganda ideas.
This could
You
be.
are literally watching the
Eric's trying to regain control now.
Form of
No.
Right on this channel.
Please note that we do not encourage stepping on razors.
No,
No.
we don't.
or leaving Razors someplace where people can step on them.
Correct.
Also that, don't do that.
No, I was just saying this. Just the whole concept, stepping on razors, finding Razor, and all that stuff. It needs to be a Calvin and Hobbes cartoon. I mean, it can work.
Oh god, yeah, absolutely.
One of my all-time favorite
hilarious.
comics, right? Calvin and
Hobbes
Hobbes.
steps on a razor.
Tam, I believe you directly message the Matani on in-game.
What did you
Email.
tell her to do? Send my therapy bill? Oh yeah, Alex. Yeah, he'll pay that. No.
Email it to Mittens.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Email it to Grath Telkin along with your favorite ice cream flavor.
Oh Jesus!
Oh
no!
Oh. Totally lost
I
control.
kind of want to go visit Grath Telkin and make new Grath Telkin ads for the
Oh yeah.
Who's
Yeah.
got some?
Yeah.
Who's got a little background sound there? Who's listening and watching something?
Sorry, that's me.
It was Manic who created the original ones, and he's still around, so he might be willing to kind of help out with that. Actually, so.
Oh yeah, so the only thing we need to do is just write
Get
some
Grath.
scripts of
Yeah.
about
See some
the
scripts,
ads
right.
and just send them to
Yeah.
Manic.
Yeah.
Write some scripts.
like, you
get
don't-
them to-
you don't
get
actually
Grath
need-
to agree. You've
just-
got to
you
get
just
Grath
need-
to agree.
Yeah. Exactly.
Is he still in Goons?
Yeah, he's I believe so. Grath Telkin. Is he
Let's
still in Goons? Yeah, I think he is.
Wait, let me ask my home assistants. Hey, Grath, are you still in Goons? It's not working.
Of course.
According to EVE Online, he is still in AMOC. Yes. Also, Jesus Christ, Grath as like an Alexa system, that would be amazing.
Well, these are the
Grath,
these
can you
are
turn up the temperature? Fuck you.
Exactly. These are some of the funniest ads that we've ever seen on like the AT and shit, and we still use them because they're hilarious. So like, yeah, get more of them. Make more.
Grath, set a timer for 15 minutes. Set your own goddamn timer.
Could you imagine like a
Exactly.
what's the AI chatbot thing?
GPT.
Yeah, could you imagine like a graph themed chat GPT?
That'd be great.
Oh,
And
so
then-
it's Graph PT. Don't tempt me.
Tempt.
Yeah, I think
Consider
you're
yourself
already,
tempted. Consider
you're
yourself tempted.
already tempted.
We'll go down the rabbit hole, and I have no idea how neural networks work.
You'll have to figure it out then.
Yeah. No.
To learn. Exactly.
Let's not.
No, let's.
I was about to say
Just imagine what a great line item it would be on your resume.
Yeah, see, I wanted to say someone will abuse it, but I think it's the other way around. People will get abused by it.
Abuse people. See, that's exactly it. Like I said, imagine what a great line that would be on your resume. Created the world's first actively hostile artificial intelligence. Fuck Skynet, fucking poser.
Well, to be fair, ChatGPT has actually started to, lie to people specifically about stuff.
Well, think about it. AI doesn't have a conscience, so
Right. I mean, that's just apathetic. It's doing whatever's convenient. This would be actively hostile. How can I fuck you?
Like, technically, we don't have consciences unless they're learned. Like,
okay,
it's just kind of like, a fun. The conscience is a fun side effect of passing electrical signals through a bag of water.
Yeah, but like it's not quite so easy as to say that we don't have them if they're not learned. The urge toward empathy and social justice, that's observed in all of the great apes. It's really like
Did
the
you say grape
prefrontal.
ape?
No, I didn't say grape ape.
I'm pretty sure I heard grape ape.
Are we back to the grappa conversation?
apparently so.
No.
What?
Totally
Don't worry about
entirely.
Is Dawn
Don't
back?
worry
Did I
about
hear
it.
Dawn? Did I hear Dawn? Dawn's back.
No, Dawn's not back.
Dawn back? I think
Dawn's not coming back.
Nope.
Dawn
Okay.
thinks we're winding down because of the meta show that isn't on
Isn't on.
today.
Yeah, there's no medicine today.
We could go wild if we really wanted to. Do we really want to?
No.
I do have other things to do. Yes,
I do as well. So let's wrap up. Let's go around with one last thing here. We'll start with the Rendus.
40 days.
40 days. 40 days.
Count 'em. We're gonna have the weekly. We're gonna have the weekly update on that, where it's gonna be like
33 days.
33.
26.
Yep.
19.
Yep. It's gonna run that way. 12 days. And then we're gonna hit 5. It's only 5 out. I may not be here next week, guys.
And then we're going a week where we don't have a show because we're just playing.
That would be awesome. Or we if honestly, if the multiplayer is live right away, yeah, we should just do that as the stream.
Yes, we are now a Kerbal Space Program 2 stream. Apologies for the programming change.
No, like we'll spend the days before the stream figuring out if we can, or getting to where we can do like production in 0G and just like fly around in Kerbal's Rifters.
Yes, this is a good plan. I like this plan.
Yep.
Okay, motion carries.
Yes.
Nice.
Sold. It's your responsibility to figure that out.
There you go.
I look
that's not a problem.
forward to building an Abaddon in orbit in space.
I know, right?
Because that looks like it might actually be fairly, might actually fly in a straight line. It doesn't have like it won't
or an Armageddon.
It won't have that could possibly work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hearthstoner. Goons are down to number 8. It's a fucking alliance. Thanks. Okay. Sorry. All right. Dirk, you're up, brother.
One last thing. Really nice to see that the MER is showing improvement in EVE Online. Very, very happy to see that. Also, check out Jintan's Captain's Cup, even if you're not interested in participating. Like, it'll be streamed out probably, I would think, on CCP's channel, but that'll be announced later down the line. It's going to be good fun. Very, very good introduction to EVE tournaments if you're kind of interested but don't want to step right into the Alliance tournament level kind of deal. And definitely going to be worth a watch.
So, question on that, just to redirect there, Dirk. Is that like 2 captains, 1 cup, or what's going down with that?
No. It's a lot more than 2.
Okay.
But only 1 cup.
One cup, and currently last count 40 captains.
There we go. Okay. Okay. Soft.
Yeah, I got nothing else to add, but Jintan's tournament, the Captain's Cup, is starting on February 25th. So
there you go.
Well, he's screwed.
Tune in. 40 days, goddammit.
Mac?
So a Maracha died, which is fucking funny.
Tournament related as well.
Yeah, as well. I did want to bring that up, but you guys were like, you guys were having fun, so that's fair enough. And the only other thing is there was going to be a Falcon Heavy launch today, but it's been scrubbed and pushed to tomorrow. So there's that.
There you go.
If you're a space nerd.
Oh, interesting. The Maracha died to tissue
gate guns.
And not to
gate guns.
To gate guns, 31% to gate guns.
Got caught on a gate and the gate guns did most damage. That's just embarrassing.
Little.
Oof.
That's fucking embarrassing.
All right, I'll give you my one last thing. Go. Next week, we're going to implement 2 new counters for the show. Okay, it's going to be how many times during the show do we make Tam Tam cry, and how many times during the show do we make her face palm. Okay, so we're going to add that in. So that's going to be live tracking. We're going to have a hostile AI, watch the chat so we can figure out how many times it happened.
Get that code. Current record, yeah. I think is 3.
I'm not a coder, but I'll try. I'll use ChatGPT to code me to help me code it.
There you go.
ChatGPT can actually code as well, so it's a thing. But yeah, so the current records are 3 times we've made Tam Tam cry this show, and 1 time we made a facepalm.
There you go. Yeah. And that's how we're going to rate the show too. 3 Tam Tam cries and 1 facepalm. So we'll put that in there.
Just how cringe can we make it to drive those numbers up?
I know those are rookie numbers. Let's get those higher.
Well, all right, everybody. If you're not there, Tam Tam, we might have to add a ChatGPT fake Tam Tam and see what happens.
you can have a cry on stream. We'll just
always welcome, Tam Tam. Always welcome.
Always. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for watching this episode. Oh, by the way, aren't we? I'm neglecting my duties, so we're supposed to give the date and time and everything at the beginning of these now too this year.
Yes. Good point,
so I'll start doing that next year. But this is
this is Saturday, January 14th at 3:17 p.m. Eastern Time.
You know what? You have the job now. That's freaking fantastic.
Yeah, no.
Yes. Tam Tam, you have a wonderful evening. Have some fun.
Live on Twitch TV. Yeah.
Live from Pittsburgh. It's Saturday afternoon.
We're live from all over the world. But yes. All right, everybody. Thank you. Thank you to all the lovely co-hosts here. Thank you. This isn't a show without you guys, really. So I appreciate everybody's time, and everybody have a wonderful weekend. See you next Saturday. All righty.
Bye, guys.